The first story we're looking at tonight takes place deep in the countryside of southern Pennsylvania, a region filled with winding dirt roads, thick tree lines, and an eerie silence that seems to blanket everything after dark. It was originally posted to a local Facebook community group, but soon made its way onto TikTok, Reddit, and paranormal forums under the title, "The Girl by the Fence Post." According to the uploader, a man named Evan Marks, this all happened just 2 months ago while he was driving home from his girlfriend's house late at night. He works second shift at a local plant and doesn't usually take that route, but roadwork had forced a detour through what's called Old Quarry Road, a narrow, twisting passage through forest and farmland. It was around 2:15 a.m. when Evan first noticed something strange. "I was maybe 15 minutes from home, just trying to get through that stretch as fast as I could," Evan wrote in the post. "There's no lights, no houses, just endless woods. Then I saw her. A girl standing on the right side of the road near an old wooden fence post. Long dark hair, white dress, not moving." At first, Evan thought it was some kind of prank, maybe someone trying to scare drivers. Or worse, bait for something more dangerous. But as he slowed down, something about the figure didn't sit right. She wasn't looking at me, just standing, still as a statue. Her arms were at her sides, her head slightly tilted down, no phone, no flashlight, nothing. Evan said he rolled down his window and asked if she needed help, but she didn't respond. Feeling uneasy, he decided to drive off. But when he checked his rearview mirror, she was gone, completely. In the time it took to go a few feet forward and glance back, the girl had vanished. I got this feeling like something was watching me. My stomach dropped. I didn't even want to turn the car around, and he didn't. He made it home, locked the doors, and didn't say a word to anyone for 2 days. Then, out of curiosity, he drove the same route during daylight, hoping to find the fence post again. And he did. But something stood out. There were no tracks, no signs of anyone having stood there. And the ground was damp, soft with mud. It should have shown footprints. But there were none. That's when things got weirder. Later that week, Evan says he woke up to find muddy footprints on the floor of his living room. Just two. Small, bare feet, standing in place, facing the couch he'd fallen asleep on. He lives alone. He called the police, of course, but there were no signs of forced entry. Nothing was taken. No other prints. Nothing outside. Just two pale imprints, side by side, in the middle of his hardwood floor. They said maybe I sleepwalked or tracked it in somehow. But my boots were clean. The floor was clean before I went to bed. I swear I didn't dream it. It was real. Naturally, viewers have offered a range of theories in the comments. Some think the figure he saw by the fence was a spirit, possibly the ghost of someone who died on that road decades ago. Old Quarry Road has its fair share of dark stories. One commenter said their grandmother used to tell them about a girl who went missing in the 70s not far from that same area. Her body was never found. Others think it could be a case of sleep paralysis or a waking hallucination, or even a hoax for attention. But Evan insists he isn't looking for fame. He's since deleted the original video and says he won't drive Old Quarry Road again. Ever. And it's not hard to understand why. There's something uniquely unsettling about rural roads at night. Maybe it's the isolation. Maybe it's the silence. Or maybe it's the fact that if something does happen out there, no one's coming to help. As for Evan's experience, it's hard to prove what really happened. No dash cam. No surveillance. Just a story, a few muddy footprints, and a road with more questions than answers. So, what do you think? Was this a true brush with the supernatural? Or the mind playing tricks in the dark? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This next story comes from a dashcam submission uploaded by TikTok user at Drivelitadilate, who frequently shares unsettling clips from long-haul night routes across the Midwest. The video, titled simply 2:44 a.m., Iowa County, was posted with almost no context. But what it captures is enough to keep you off Backroads for good. Let's set the scene. It's early spring. The roads are wet, reflecting streaks of moonlight as the car rolls slowly down a remote 2-lane road near Marengo, Iowa. Fields stretch endlessly in both directions. No other cars, no streetlights. Just the soft hum of tires on old pavement and the occasional creak of suspension. For the first 40 seconds, nothing unusual happens. Then it appears. Lying in the ditch ahead on the right side of the road is what looks like a man. Face down, arms sprawled out, not moving. The car slows. I wasn't sure what I was looking at, the driver later wrote. Could have been a person, could have been a scarecrow, or even roadkill. I didn't want to just keep driving, you know? What if they were hurt? The car comes to a full stop just past the figure. The driver turns on their hazard lights and opens the door. You can hear the wind, faint frogs in the distance, and his footsteps on the wet gravel shoulder. He calls out, "Hey, are you okay?" No answer. He inches closer, and then the figure moves, but not in a way that anyone expected. It didn't stand up, he said. It sort of flipped over, not smoothly, like it wasn't used to using its body. On the dash cam, you can barely make it out in the darkness. But with brightness turned up, viewers noticed something chilling. The thing in the ditch wasn't wearing clothes. Its skin was pale, almost gray, and its limbs were impossibly long. When it turned, its mouth seemed to hang open wider than humanly possible. The driver freezes, and in a heartbeat, the thing charges on all fours, not upright, like a person, but like something feral. He screams, bolts back to the car, slams the door shut, and floors it. The camera jerks as he peels away, heavy breathing audible for the next full minute. He doesn't look back. I don't know what that was, he said in a follow-up post. It wasn't human. I swear to God. I've been driving nights for 8 years. I've seen deer, drunks, wolves, even people trying to scam you with fake breakdowns. But this wasn't that. And he's not alone. Several commenters mentioned seeing similar figures along old Iowa roads, pale, crawling creatures with long limbs and erratic movement. Some referred to them as ditch runners. Others suggested they're connected to a local Native American legend about skinwalkers or wendigos, shape-shifting spirits that mimic the appearance of people to lure victims. Skeptics, of course, had their own theories. One popular suggestion was that it could have been a person on drugs, someone having a psychotic episode and crawling through the ditch. Others pointed out that dash cams often distort night footage, and that what looked inhuman might have just been a badly lit person in distress. But that theory doesn't quite explain what happened next. In the final moments of the video, as the car speeds off, there's a brief glimpse in the passenger side mirror. For only a fraction of a second, you can see something sprinting along the shoulder behind the vehicle, running faster than any person should, keeping pace. Then the mirror shakes and the image is lost. I don't care what anyone says, the driver said. Whatever it was, it followed me. I didn't sleep that night, and I don't take that route anymore. A few days later, someone posted a screenshot from Google Maps showing the exact stretch of road. And there, less than 200 feet from where the creature was spotted, is a small, overgrown cemetery. No sign, no fence, just a handful of crooked stones half swallowed by the earth. Some viewers believe that's not a coincidence. Whether it was a supernatural entity, a cryptid, or just a man in the wrong place at the wrong time, the video has left many people deeply unsettled, especially those who live in rural areas and know just how isolated these roads can be after sundown. It's one thing to fear what you can't see. It's another to see it coming at you on all fours from a ditch in the dark. So, what do you think? Is this some kind of creature that lurks just outside the headlights, or the mind playing tricks in the night? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This last story comes from a Reddit post titled, "Still Can't Explain What Happened on White Hollow Road," shared by a user named Paige711, a nursing student from Tennessee. She wasn't looking for paranormal fame. Her original post was made in a thread asking about creepy things you've experienced while driving alone. But what she described quickly got picked up by horror YouTubers, TikTok compilations, and unexplained mystery channels, because it's one of those stories that sounds like a dream, until you realize it couldn't have been. It happened in late November 2023. Paige was driving back home from a friend's house in a neighboring county, a rural area with spotty cell signal and barely any other traffic after dark. Her route took her down a lesser-known shortcut through the mountains. White Hollow Road, a steep, winding stretch of asphalt that cuts through forest and farmland. She'd taken the road dozens of times before. But that night, something changed. I remember looking at the clock. It was 12:03 a.m. I was maybe 15 minutes from home. And then suddenly, I saw a curve ahead that looked off, she wrote, like I had already taken that exact turn 5 minutes ago. She shrugged it off at first. Night driving can mess with your sense of space and time. But then it happened again and again. The same curve, the same fallen tree on the right, the same reflector post slightly leaning to the left. I thought I was losing it, but then I saw something that proved I wasn't. There was this soda can I threw into the passenger side footwell earlier that night. It rolled under my seat and I'd forgotten about it, but now it was sitting on the dashboard. She hadn't moved it. She hadn't even stopped the car. Somehow, it had changed positions. That's when she started to panic. Paige pulled over, turned on her interior lights, and tried calling someone, but there was no signal. Just one bar flashing, then disappearing. She waited a few minutes, hoping another car might come by. No one did. She decided to keep driving. I figured maybe I just zoned out. Or maybe I was more tired than I realized. But what happened next made me feel like I was in a dream I couldn't wake up from. She drove another mile or so and suddenly saw something ahead in the headlights. At first, she thought it was an animal crossing the road. But as she slowed down, she realized it was a person, an older woman in a blue dress, standing on the shoulder, waving slowly. Paige stopped, rolled the window down halfway. The woman didn't speak. She just raised her hand again and pointed backward, down the road Paige had just come from. I asked if she needed help. She didn't say anything, just stared. Then she turned and walked into the woods. Against her better judgment, Paige got out with a flashlight. She walked to the edge of the tree line. Nothing, no sound. Not even crunching leaves. The woman had disappeared without a trace. That's when Paige noticed something horrifying. There was a road sign nearby, old and rusted. I looked up and saw it said White Hollow RD. But here's the thing. I was already on White Hollow Road. That meant I was somehow back where I started. She got back in the car and drove faster this time. Checked the clock. It was now 1:27 a.m., nearly 90 minutes since she should have gotten home. I drove another 15 minutes, didn't stop, didn't breathe. Then suddenly I saw it again, the same curve, the same reflector post, the same leaning tree. Somewhere along the way, Paige had gotten caught in a loop. Dozens of comments flooded the thread. People shared similar stories from different parts of the country. Rural roads where time and distance seem to bend, where your GPS glitches out, and landmarks repeat like a scratched record. Some believe these are naturally occurring time slips, strange pockets of altered perception brought on by a mix of fatigue, electromagnetic interference, and stress. Others say they're the result of spiritual activity, places where the veil between worlds is thin, where you can lose more than just your sense of direction. And then there are the darker theories. A few users insisted White Hollow Road is cursed, that decades ago, a local church group went missing during a snowstorm on that same route.